Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. So today we are beginning with a topic called as Greek literature, and I will be giving you all the important details of Greek literature in two classes. So this is class 1, and we will be having the second part where we will be talking the other important writers. So, in this class, we will positionalize the three important periods that are there in Greek literature, and then we will talk about the works in the next class. So, when it comes to Greek literature, we all know that there are three important periods that are there in Greek literature. What are these three periods? We have the first age that is called as the archaic period. The second age, which is called as the classical period. The classical period. And then we have the third one, which is called as the Hellenistic period. The Hellenistic period. So these are the three periods that are there in the Greek literature. Before the archaic period, it was the Greek dark ages that were there. So before archaic, there was dark period in your dark period in your Greek literature, and this dark period or this dark age was characterized by ignorance. So, till then, there was a lot of ignorance, in fact, injustice, and various kinds of misery and atrocities were faced by people of Greek. It is the archaic period that became the first flourishing period. Then we have the classical, and after that the Hellenistic. The archaic period is starting from 9th century BC till 5th century BC. City states were formed here. So city states were firstly formed here. It was Greek during this time was ruled by tyrants, and Persians were their common enemy who were again and again attacking them. Constant wars is a theme that you will find that was going on also in Greek that time. There are important poets during the archaic period. We have Homer, Hesiod, as well as Sappho. These are the writers that we will discuss in the next class. Okay, I hope this is clear. Abhi, let us positionalize everything. Homer, we all know, is writing in the 8th century BC, is one of the most important writer. He was a storyteller, a court singer, very influential when it comes to the genre of epic. So he is the greatest epic poet and the author of the world's most famous literature. He is the one who wrote the Iliad, the most important epic that is set against the Trojan War. One of the oldest as well as one of the most important texts in the Western literature. The Iliad. After the Iliad, we have the Odyssey. So he is writing the Iliad, and we will be talking about the Iliad in the next class in detail. We will be looking at the summary as well. We have the Odyssey. At least understand the works that are there. Then we have the Hesiod. Hesiod is another important writer. He is considered the creator. So Hesiod is considered as the creator of didactic poetry. Poetry that is moralizing and instructing. So instruction and moralization, both at the same time. He is the one who wrote this important work called as Works and Days. Works and Days. Then we have Theogony, the Shield of Hercules. These are his important works. Then we have Sappho. Sappho was an archaic Greek poet and from the land of Lesbos. It is also said that Sappho maybe was the 10th muse, and she is a poetess. So she is a woman. But of course, there is another rumor that maybe it's a male only. and she's famous for lyric poetry. She's famous for lyric poetry. Sappho. Then comes the classical period. Classical period is another very important period. In fact, the most important period in Greek literature. It is the 5th and the 4th century, that is the time period. It was the Athens that became the most influential center. Athens emerged as the most powerful center when it comes to any Greek state in in Greek literature. This time, Athens was ruled by Pericles, a very influential king. Pericles. Discipline like political thought, discipline like logic, maths, and ethics, as well as aesthetics, physics, linguistics, biology, linguistics. These are the topics that became famous in Greek literature during the time of classical period. Classical period also saw one very important thing, that is the rise of philosophy. The rise of philosophy. We had the pre-Socratic philosophers like Thales of Miletus. Then we have Xenophanes as well as Pythagoras. We also had Socrates, Plato, and of course Aristotle, writing during the time of classical literature. Not only philosophy, but the drama also bloomed during this time. The drama include the genres of tragedy as well as comedy. So Athens emerged in the 6th century BC. Tragedy emerged in Athens as a very, very, very important genre. Very important. I'll write and please start making notes. So in Athens, we saw that in the 6th century BC, drama became very famous. And during this time, drama was performed during a time of festival. What was the festival? The festival Dionysia. Dionysia, where they used to worship Dionysius, who was the god of wine and ecstasy. So that means celebration ke liye. And in Romans, for Romans, it is called, this god is called as Bacchus. So tragedy flourished because they used to have this festival Dionysia, and they used to pray this god Dionysius, the god of wine. This, while they were praying to this god, they used to perform plays, and that play were basically tragedies. Comedies also became famous. Comedies were associated with the satire plays, and mythological subjects were there. Tragedy, of course, as I told you, became very famous. There are 3 great tragedians that we will study in the next class. We have Aeschylus. Sorry about that. We have Aeschylus, who became very famous. Oh, why is my pen slipping? Wait. We have Aeschylus, who is the father of Greek tragedies as well. We have Sophocles, and we also have Euripides. These are the 3 very important tragedy writers who wrote about different tragedies and also introduced characters and various plots, as well as chorus को भी इन्होंने ही introduce किया है. Okay. Aeschylus is the father of tragedy. He also used to win first prize in this festival. It is believed that about 70 to 90 plays are written by him. And he is very famous. Aeschylus is famous for his Orchestra trilogy. That we will study in the next class, but I can write the name here. So we have Aeschylus. And Aeschylus is famous for his Orestia trilogy. Orestia trilogy. Orestia trilogy है. Trilogy means that there will be 3 books. What are the 3 books? We have Agamemnon, the libation bearers, as well as the Eumenides. These are the 3 works. Then of course we have Sophocles. Sophocles is famous for Ajax. Then there is work like, so Sophocles is famous for Oedipus the king, or I should say he is very famous for his own trilogy. Let us write the trilogy only, called as the Theban trilogy. So he is famous for the Theban trilogy. The Theban trilogy again has 3 works. We have Oedipus Rex, which is also called as Oedipus the king. Then we have Oedipus at Colonus and Antigone. These are the 3 trilogies included here. Lastly, we have Euripides. Euripides is very famous for Medea, Hecuba, right? Cyclops. These are his works. We will discuss about these in the next class. Okay? And I'm sure that you guys have read Medea. Medea is by far one of the most important tragedy that was written during this time, apart from Orestia trilogy and Theban trilogy. Medea, basically, we'll discuss in the next class though. Medea is here a girl who is taking revenge on her husband Jason because he left her for another woman. So Medea is going to kill Jason's bride. She is going to kill her and torment Jason by feeding her their own son. Not only tragedy, during this time, as I told you, it is the comedy also that became very famous. Comedies also became famous. And in comedy also, we have important writers. So I'll write about comedy also. When it comes to comedy, who all are famous? We have Aristophanes. Aristophanes was writing in the 5th century. He is the one. So he is known for his old comedy, which is contrast to the new comedy. And who is famous for new comedy? It is Menander. Now this was a PYQ, so you guys need to know. Old comedy, Aristophanes wrote, and Menander is known for his new comedies. He is a stalwart figure when it comes to comedy, which became very famous, known as old comedy, in contrast to the new comedy of Menander. Aristophanes has written the work The Clouds, then The Wasps. These are important works. And The Clouds is very famous. Another PYQ that have been asked, why is Clouds so famous? Because here you see a caricature, a mockery done on Socrates. Okay. About Socrates' trial and then later his death. This has been discussed. In fact, there is another work called as The Frogs. The Frogs. Here you see, so there is a famous scene in this play between Aeschylus. So there is a scene, Aeschylus versus Euripides. And they are fighting in this play, The Frog, who is a better playwright. Who is a better poet, I should say. Who is better? So there's this scene. Okay, remember these things. This also has been asked. This is a PYQ. Then, as I told you, Menander is very famous for his new comedy. New comedy somehow is also going to bring the genre of comedy of manners forward. Okay. Then during this time, we had Pindar who was writing, and he is famous for his odes, right? Another PYQ that has been asked, there are 3 stanzas in odes. Do you know what are these 3 stanzas? Each ode is based on the choral dance. It is based on the choral dance as well as positions. We have strophe, anti-strophe, as well as epod. These are the 1, 2, and 3 stanzas of an ode. Right? Victory Odes is a very important ode written by Pindar. Okay, so these were the important writers. I hope this is clear. You guys understood how Greek literature became famous. So let us come here again. So Hellenistic period is the time period when Greek will go down and the Romans would come up. So it is the time period when Greek literature and Greece will basically lose and Romans will win. उससे पहले in the archaic period and the classical period, we had literature that was flourishing like anything. We had the dark period, it ended. Then we have the archaic period where we had Homer, Hesiod, and Sappho. And in the classical period, we had philosophers, tragedians, and comedians writing. I hope this is clear. In the next class, that would be class number 2, I would like to talk about Homer, Hesiod, as well as all these trilogies in detail. I will be talking about the summary of these works because they have already asked questions related to it. So we'll talk about it. A little bit we will talk about it. Okay? Let me wind up the class. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye and enjoy.